It is my sincere pleasure to introduce you to our BA in Educational Psychology program at Ontario Tech University. I will first go over why you might choose our program, and then the possible careers that might result after you finish the program. We will then look at the courses offered, specializations, and experiential learning opportunities. And finally, we'll look at the flexible learning formats we offer, our instructors, and how you will learn. At the end, I'll provide you with places that you can go to get more information about the program. So, why would you take the Educational Psychology program at Ontario Tech University? Well, it's the first of its kind in Canada, combining education and psychology, and they're a really good combination. It will help you really understand how people learn, and that's important for education, but also for psychology. It has a number of optional specializations. It emphasizes inclusion and mental health and offers strong pathways to the BEd and graduate programs. We offer flexible formats with online, face-to-face, and hybrid programs. We have at least 3 experiential learning opportunities within the program. We are Ontario Tech, and so you will experience meaningful use of technology, and specifically AI. We are very proud of the diverse range of students in our programs. And finally, you will develop 21st century skills, problem-based learning, communication, and collaboration that will serve you well in your future careers. Now, some of the careers that you could go into directly after completing the 4-year program would be an educational assistant or learning support worker, a program coordinator, a psychometry assistant, a rehabilitation support worker, corporate training and developmental assistant, research assistant, and a social services assistant. You will also be well situated to enter exciting careers in teaching, as a K to 12 teacher, a college professor, or a researcher, a guidance counselor, a school counselor, a registered psychologist or clinical or educational psychologist, a social worker, and a speech language pathologist. You will be able to get these careers or go to these careers with further degrees in the Bachelor of Education, the Master's program, or a Doctorate of Education. Now I'm going to talk about the courses that are offered from year 1 to year 4. Now you can find out far more detail about this on the website, but I'll give you a brief overview. There's some foundational courses here, Foundations of Learning, Biology, Teaching and Learning, Problem-Based Learning, and Introduction to Psychology, and they're required. And then you get some choice here. And you can see the choices. I don't need to necessarily read them out for you, but there's this diverse set of courses here that you can choose from that are related to education psychology. There's writing courses which will be very valuable for you. And then you can pick 3 general electives. So you have a lot of choice. In year 2, there are more required courses so that you can establish a strong foundation in both education and psychology in the areas of assessment and evaluation, equity, diversity, and inclusion, mental health, child development health, and then importantly, developmental psychology, psychopathology, brain and behavior, research methods, and psychology. These are very foundational but actually extremely interesting courses for both the area of education and psychology. And then you get to choose 2 electives. In year 3, we'll be focusing on foundations of special education, psychoeducational assessments, introduction to guidance and counseling, social psychology, cognitive psychology, and data analysis and psychology. You can also choose. You'll also have a choice of electives: a psychology elective, an education elective, and 2 general electives. And finally, in year 4, you have a lot more choice. There are 4 foundational courses here. But you can see now that there are opportunities for experiential learning, a practicum or an internship. There's also work integrated learning. You may choose to do an honors thesis if you think you might want to go into research, and then you have a choice of 3 electives. When you complete your degree, you can add a specialization. So you have a degree in educational psychology with a specialization in one of these 5 areas. You don't have to have a specialization, but we have 5 of them here. Aging and learning in an era of technology, that's focusing on adult education. Developmental science and learning, inclusive educational studies, mental health and special education, and learning sciences and technology. There are 3 experiential learning opportunities, a practicum for 4th-year students, a possible internship program, and a work integrated learning course program. So you would go to the website to find out more detail, but these are exciting opportunities to apply theory to practice and get some solid work experience. Now we have a variety of flexible learning formats for our courses. So there's a rich mix of online, face-to-face, or hybrid options. There's an opportunity to take quite a few online courses, but you'll always want a face-to-face interaction because it's very rich and you get to know people a little bit better. And then there's the hybrid option, which is a mix of online and face-to-face. Now, our online courses are high quality courses. They're very engaging. We literally wrote a book about this, Thriving Online, a guide for busy educators. And so we've been doing this for over 15 years. So our online courses are engaging and they also involved virtual interaction. And you get a choice of courses. There are 23 required courses so that you can have a solid foundation in education and psychology. But you also have a choice of 17 that you get to pick. That's quite a bit of flexibility. Our instructors have a strong base in education and psychology with up to 25 years experience. They have extensive teaching and online learning experience. They will act as coaches and guides for you, and they'll be very responsive to our students. We are very proud of that, and you will experience a high degree of care and support. Now, here are some possible ways that you'll learn in our courses, both online, uh, synchronous, asynchronous, or in person. You will experience highly interactive and hands-on activities, problem-based learning, collaborative learning, meaningful use of technology, assignments where you have choice, where they're authentic and useful. That's often in the case of education. And there are no tests or exam in education. There are in some of the psychology courses, the foundational courses. And you'll have a strong relationship with your peers and the instructors. For more information, there is the email for the admissions. This is our advising email directly for our program. And you can go to this website or URL to find more information, detailed information about educational psychology.